overhear transmissions. Sometimes.
There are things out in the dark that only the dark can overcome.
Long story, and it may look like I don't know what I'm doing, but I do. Maybe not.
You're going to see a lot of things you won't understand. Eyes out, Guardian.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Relax Guardians Podcast, episode 25. I'm your host this evening, Agnikai God, joined as always by Sebs. How you doing, Sebs?
I'm doing well, mate. I'm doing well. What we need to do, guys, though, we need to have a vote. Everybody vote. We have got music. Agnikai never uses it. So everybody, let's start fucking sending abuse to Agnikai, and we may get our fucking sound thing in the beginning and maybe not just at the end. We could maybe just like make it slightly more professional instead of going, how do you fucking start this fucking thing? Agnikai.
I am getting a new intro made because the other one's so dark and like it worked for when we were doing the audio like what were they called? The Book of Sorrows, and they were like kind of grungy and shit. But now we're gonna have this like chipper intro and we're like working on getting it animated, so I'm a kind of more upbeat sort of. So I'm working on it, and we come in so happy, and like imagine like the doom, and that's like, hey guys.
I'm alright with that. I'm alright. A little bit of fucking emo and then rock into right. Awesome.
Yeah, we'll go back to like 2005, man. I was like,
just emo that shit. Yeah, I had a moment in the week. I was like such a grumpy mood, and I just come in and bitched it, and then left the game. I was like, "Fuck this! I'm out. I can't." I'm fucking.
that was I was worried about that. I was like, I hope it didn't piss him off. I just don't want to do GMs tonight. Like,
No, it would that. It's just I had a moment. It was just dealing with work and all that sort of stuff. I had a moment, and I was just like, nah, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah,
I just went to bed.
I've had a bit of a rough week with Destiny as well because I'm like, I just don't want to. It's at that end of the season point for me, and I'm like, I just don't want to do it. Like, I know GMs are like the thing, but I'm like, fuck, I can't be bothered.
Look, it's fun though. We and Seiko been running the boys through, running the clan guys through, and it is fun. Don't get me wrong, but you don't realize how because we are set up because obviously we go onto YouTube and we get different ideas off different people, and so we've set our characters up and our computers up and to play Destiny. Like I have my way of playing Destiny, so I've got colorblind setting on because it works for PvP. I've changed my reticle from green to yellow and I've brightened the shit out of it. So I've got this big yellow reticle in front of my eyes. And what I found out the other day is Curly, it was Cam, Vince are playing with the same reticle. So it's a dark green or a very dull green. So as you are doing Chaos Reach, you can't even see where the fucking thing's going. There's no reticle to aim to the boss.
Right. Maybe the giant laser?
Yeah, well, the fact is, when you set it up, you put the reticle on the boss.
Oh, the pre-aim.
Yeah.
Before it burnt, right.
Yeah, instead of it going to the top left or top right or wherever, just scooting the floor, and then you've kind of lost a good couple of seconds of the Chaos Reach, and that's what we worked out last night on GMs. But if you don't...
I play fucking default. Just red radar, white reticle. If I see an enemy, it turns red. Like,
well, I've got colorblind settings on the HUD is yellow, and then I'm the red guy in like you're the red guy in the fucking middle or something like that. K's in the background.
Yeah.
K's in the background.
I'm being haunted.
2 raccoons in a fucking brown paper bag.
It's fine.
Fighting.
Yeah, you can open the door. That's fine. Go on. Yeah. So I'm sorry about the background noise, but yeah. So I've heard people say before that the colorblind settings actually help you in PvP just physically with aiming. Yeah. Like it's clearer information for some people. I don't follow it. I don't understand it. Everything seems fine to me with the way I play. Maybe it's just because I'm used to it.
It's the HUD. It's the HUD. So it goes from yellow to block yellow to red when they're very, very close. So you can see where they are as the thing changes. Because usually it shows red, 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 and then circle red, and then you're on top of it. So there's a difference between. I find there's a slight difference between the middle red guy and then the yellow, so you know where you are.
Right.
Instead of it kind of bleeding. It's all.
It's interesting. Well, that's honestly, it's a lot more information we're getting rather than the shade of red. Like it's like solid red and then it sort of blacks out. That's interesting.
Look, I got off a guy who was very, very good at PvP, but he also turned around and said some dodgy little things that you should never run with your inventory full because it makes you slower. Yeah. He also said never use the aim down sights thing. Always shoot from the hip because you're faster. You're just a little bit faster, like thinking. All right. And he goes, then put the Japanese, change it to Japanese talking because it's a throwback to all the Japanese speedrunners, and then you run faster. So I'm like,
sounds like you got trolled.
Yes, because me and Monster did the run from one side to the next. So we emptied all our fucking stuff out of our inventory, and we did the run. Didn't do fucking shit, but the colorblind thing does.
Yeah,
and the change of the reticle to make it a different color so it doesn't blend into the background. Because there's a lot of reds, there's a lot of greens.
Yeah.
So if you have something that's just completely a different color, there's a lot of black. So if you have a black reticle, people think white again kind of gets blown out as you run across some of the buildings and stuff.
There's a lot of bright areas in this game.
Yeah.
So it's easy to get lost. One thing I've kind of found that, and this is just me blowing fucking tooting my own horn, I've gotten used to, like, even though I know where the reticle is, I've gotten used to just looking at where my gun is on the screen and kind of using that as my guide as well. And like, you know what I mean? Like I know when I aim where that's going to line up to without even having my reticle. I'm just like, you get that with just using the same guns over and over and over, like Dead Man's Tale. I know how the iron sights sit, so I know where that prong's going to be.
Well, I was thinking, you got a screen, so you got your screens and you can put the reticle always on your screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But when I put it on my screen, for some reason, I think whether this is on purpose, the Bungie reticle is a little bit higher than the screens thing because it's not like straight in the middle.
Yeah, it's been brought up before, especially when competitive Destiny was really trying to be pushed back in Trials of Osiris initial release. They did a lot of comparisons, especially to Call of Duty, because that was a big thing with Call of Duty. Like reticles were off for a while, and so they like forced them to be centered, and it's a thing. Yeah.
But I was thinking that if you push yourself to aim with the middle reticle, because I'm very much a chest firer, because that's the biggest bit. Like maybe it's a throwback of the army shit that you have to aim for the chest. You don't aim for the head; you always aim for the chest because it's the biggest body mass. But if you put the reticle on your screen and turn the other reticle off, you aim for that reticle. As you hit the chest, you're going to hit the face. So you're purposely aiming for the chest on the reticle that's in the computer screen, but it's automatically going to aim for the fucking head. So you could teach yourself to aim. Possibly depends. I'll have to give it a try, I reckon, on a private match. Whether you can depends on obviously if you're further away.
Yeah, well, that turns into aim assist with the gun specifically.
Yeah,
well, it's on console.
Yeah, so whether that'll work, you could train yourself to shoot people in the face. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of changing things, Transmog.
No. I don't. Let's read something. Let's go into what's happening in the week and all that sort of shit and all that sort of crap, and then
and then we can punch each other.
Let's talk. Look, because I've got a different view on the Transmog to everybody else by the sounds of it. because people are fucking right angry with this.
Oh yeah,
But I don't know why. I can't work out why they're angry with it.
I can tell you.
Yeah, I know I can tell you as well. But to me, I'm like, man, who gives a shit? It's fucking transmog. Hey, who fucking cares? Like, all right, let's fuck it. We'll go into transmog and we'll go straight into something else. Then. So let me find the twab. I've got the twab here. I'll work through the fucking transmog shit. All right. Fucking transmog. Where are you? Armor synthesis and guardian appearance. Here we go. Oh fuck! I've just lost. Wait a minute. Why is it fucking do that? Fuck off. All right. Fuck it. Since the launch of Destiny 1, we've been requested for a transmog system. After some development time, buckets of sweat, and a happy few tears, we're happy to introduce armor synthesis to Destiny 2. 801, who is the original EXO, who is super, super powerful, is now just a dirty transmog EXO.
Where did you get the original EXO from?
Well, she was made by the Black Armory. So the person who made, obviously Clovis Bray made the EXOs. The person who started doing the thing run off and made 801 without using clarity control, darkness, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So she is the original light EXO, where the other EXOs are.
She's the only light EXO.
Yeah. But she's super fucking powerful because she is a Black Armory, so she can. Yeah,
she's physically the Forge.
Yeah.
So look at you, you're so fancy with your big bowl, and I'm like, bowl.
Yeah. But it's my gin. Hey. So she's super powerful. She is a fucking Black Armory Forge. She is the main Forge. Now she's been reduced to, oh yeah, you want that? You want that fucking ornament, do you? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Isn't that shit?
Today we'll look at explain how this feature will work and how you can work your way towards your favorite looks. Quick note, many of the following screenshots were test builds, blah, 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 blah. All right. Before we get too deep, here's a quick list of the steps, the convoluted steps of fucking transmog. Defeat enemies to earn synth strands. Spend synth strands on bounties to earn synth cord. Convert synth cord at the loom in the tower into synth weave. Use synth weave to convert and unlock armor appearances, legendary quality or lower, from collections into universal armor ornaments. To start, players will begin earning synth weave when defeating enemies in Destiny 2. After earning 150 synth strands, players may visit 801 in the tower to acquire class-specific bounties, which will reward synth cord. When developing the feature, early goes blah, 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 whatever the fuck it is. Vanguard, complete playlist strikes using specific subclasses, accumulate points in Nightfall strikes, Crucible, capture zones in Crucible control matches, complete Crucible control matches, and defeat opponents using specific damage types as a team. Gambit, send and defeat blockers in Gambit, defeat Primeval envoys, high-value tags and Primevals in Gambit destinations. Defeat nightmares on any destinations. I don't even know if anybody's actually doing nightmare hunts anymore.
No one is, because the weapons and the armor are sunsetted.
There we are. Defeat bosses while defending the Blind Well within the Dreaming City. I know very little people who are doing Blind Well anymore. Raids and dungeons. Complete the final encounter of any raid or dungeon. Generate orbs of power in raids or dungeons. You will be able to hand...
orbs. Is that how you get the material? Okay.
Yeah. You will be able to refund it if you abandon it, but you're not going to get the full amount. All right.
So there's 4 fucking steps just to get to
look
that.
So I've been thinking about this. So 801, when she first came in, you had the the bounties. You had to go and use that gun to shoot people. Then that gun had to then get put into a legendary bounty, and then you have to go and use that gun then to shoot more people or go into the Black Armory Forge, finish the Black Armory Forge, pick up the bollocks, and then go back to 801 and pick up the gun.
Yeah.
Yep. So she's had convoluted ways before to get
Yeah, I was ready to chat.
Transmog 7, let's go. Fucking ha. Look. So she's had convoluted ways of doing it before, but how easy is it to turn around and go, hit the middle one, take the middle one out, you fucking kill people, you turn that into something else, and then you get you get your shit.
Why do we have to go and kill people to begin with to go get a new currency to go and buy bounties, which we already buy bounties with Glimmer?
Well, this is the issue, isn't it? Because we've got so many. Look, they are getting rid of all the fucking tokens and shit like that, and I understand that. But would it be best if they just have a random drop of synth code? Random drops, it fucking just randomly drops in the fucking out there. Shit, I can go and transmog, and that's how you do it. Just the fucking percentage is totally fucking shocking. The percentage is like 2%. You kill a fucking raid boss, it may drop. Or that fucking the 10 weekly bounty things that comes out for the first 10 weeks, have them in there. You're allowed to do 10 each fucking one. Bang.
Yeah, why isn't this tied with the challenges?
Well, exactly. It's fucking freezing in you, Vince. That's why.
That's why I was wearing a jumper.
It's so cold. The one of the door's open.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
One, we don't need any more currencies in this game. Our inventories are always getting filled up with stuff that we don't know if we can actually delete it. Like we get like lenses and donuts and fucking balls of yarn, and it's all like, oh great. The only time they get rid of something is the fucking ramen coupon, and that was after 2 years.
Yeah.
It's like, so we're just filling up with shit already.
But they most probably thought, oh, but what I don't understand is, and I kind of understand it, and I understand why I don't understand why people get upset that you can still, so you're limited to 10 per season.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be 4 full sets. Oh, sorry, 2 sets of 4 full armor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But for the first time, you're getting 20.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4 full sets of armor. Now I can't even think of any fucking four full sets of sets of armor.
Yeah, right. I've been following like the hate on Twitter, and then everyone's like, here's the first thing I'm going to do when I transmog, and it's like a blue helmet, and it's like, well, what about the rest of the set? You want like 30 sets per season. How much more are you going to transmog? I don't know. I'll probably get through the first 2, and then I'll kind of be bored with doing it. No shit.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, Raf, the filling in seasons are fairly light in the content, but the way they write in at the moment, like this season, as in a standalone season, the writing is fantastic. Yes, the battlegrounds isn't so fucking fantastic, but VOG is next. VOG is next year, so next season.
They're not even creating anything artificial about it, though. There's no content that is being added here. You're just doing the same thing.
Yeah. Look, what they should have tied it in with the weekly bounties, the weekly shit.
Yeah.
So instead of going to the helm, blah blah blah, you get that, and then your rewards. You got $81, you sort that shit out. Yeah. Like I can't. The only thing I can think of is the only piece I can think of is the chest piece with the chains all over it. That's
even
the only
then,
warlock.
There's all year 1 armor isn't available because of technical difficulties. So there's a full year of stuff that we just can't use yet, which is what a lot of people wanted to transmog, including the Trials of the 9 gear. Just gone.
Well, so they might get brought back out. It might go brought back out, but I think people are upset that there's a cap on it. But like, I think
yeah.
I'm more upset is the fucking dumbass grind to get them. The cap I couldn't care less about. But the issue that they worried about, like I can understand Bungie it's a fucking company. It has to earn money. If they give it away for free, that means Eververse is null and void.
Yes.
It only for the special ones, the special emotes and all that sort of stuff. It's null and void. It's nothing. I think people are upset that they go, well, we put a cap on it, but you can buy it for silver. You can buy extra
Yeah.
ones for silver.
Yeah, well, that's another thing that's a problem. One question I have, and I don't think they answered this, is if you get the maximum amount of materials that you need to transmog in one season, but you don't use them, do you get capped on those in the next season?
No, they just roll over.
Do they though? Is it like the amount you can earn?
I don't think the Solstice Glows are going to roll over, to be honest, mate. I think the Solstice Glows there's something wrong or something like that. And I think they're not going to work.
That's another problem. It's like there's ornaments like, the Solstice stuff where it's like they had special ornaments that glow. The Iron Banner stuff still works on other Iron Banner gear, but you can't put the Iron Banner stuff on the Year 1 armor on non-Iron Banner gear for whatever fucking reason. There's fucking...
Look, what I reckon is they're going to do, they're going to roll it out and then see it fucking just burn. It's either going to work or it's going to fucking burn into 1,000 fucking deaths. And I think it's going to burn into 1,000 deaths, and then they're going to fucking rein it back in. Because what I reckon it's better to ask for forgiveness
than permission. Vinny's like, you're adult men worrying about digital fashion. I'm not worried about the fashion game. I couldn't give a fuck. I'm worried about people who are feeling like they're getting shunted more and more for not having enough time to play this game, because this is so much more content. Well, not content, so much more grind to just like make your Guardian look the way you want it to look now, while still having the stats that you want it to have. But this is so hard for people to like maintain that time and do it.
But you're getting given 10 off the bat.
Yeah, for the first season. If you're a season pass owner. But what if you're not? Or what if you come in later?
Fuck the people who don't fucking pay for
what if you
game.
Get us?
Fuck them.
What if you get it? What if you buy Witch Queen? Like everyone's like, yeah, okay, look, don't jump in yet. Come in at Witch Queen. That's when the big drop happens next. You've missed Beyond Light. Come in at Witch Queen, and then we can do all this stuff together. And they're like, wow, how do you make yourself look so cool all the time? I was like, well, I did all these seasons of transmogging. How do I do that? Well, you got to do a fucking weekly grind on top of what a weekly grind you're already fucking doing.
Look, I think it's gonna be surprisingly easy to do. It's just going to be that thing. But the problem is you have to run all the way down to 801. That's going to be the issue.
Yeah, that's another thing of like going back to doing the tower chores.
No, because you'll be able to get it off fucking the app, surely.
You can get the bounties, but you can't collect it. You have to go and hand it into her.
I don't know, man. They're gonna wake up and then realize that it's not working, and then just kind of fucking fuck about with it. Like I said, free to play. I said, it's better to ask for permission. It's better to ask for forgiveness than fucking permission. They're gonna just fucking ram it up.
Yeah.
Realize, scream, and then they go, yeah, wait, mate, we listen to you guys. We like to listen to our guys, and we're going to roll it back. We're going to, instead of 3 steps, it's going to be 1 step, or it's just going to be no cap to it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about how hard it is. It's honestly just the time sink. And I understand why they put the time sink in from a business perspective, because this is a massive overhaul of work for them to put in. This isn't like part of their seasonal content. This is extra work going into a season that was already coming.
Yeah.
So I get that, and I understand why it's like optional for you to be able to buy beyond the 10. That all makes sense to me. I'm honestly just thinking about people who are just like running out of time to do everything in their week for their character that they want to do.
Look,
because it becomes the thing of like,
but
you're chasing your pinnacles, and then you're chasing your transmog at the same time, and it's like, fuck, I don't know where to go. My pinnacles and strikes, but my bounties are like in Crucible.
But you have to realize after next season, it's only 10 light levels. So you should be able to fucking do it.
That's another thing. Like, what if you get a week of pinnacles where they only drop in your fucking boots, or you need a class item, but you never get a class item, right?
Mate,
so you run around the entire thing. It's like, oh,
you just get upset for no fucking reason.
No. But this is my problem. This is the problem that's coming up with bounties, and why the bounty idea doesn't work. I'd rather the challenges idea, because the challenges always tie in with the stuff you need to do that week. Right? But if the bounties all say, go and do Crucible, go and do Gambit, but you've already done your Crucible and Gambit pinnacles, right? And you need to go do strikes. Now you're splitting your time between 2 things that you don't want to do. And it's like, oh, I can either get my transmog stuff, or I can maybe get my pinnacle to level up again. What do I do?
Yeah, but your transmog is all over every outfit, like everything.
That's what I'm saying. But what if you run out of those? Like, if the bounties don't go to what you need to do now? You know what I'm saying? Like, the bounties are randomly refreshing, right? So what if all your bounties, what if the bounties stack up where it's like, go and do Crucible and Gambit, but you've done your Crucible and Gambit, you want to do your pinnacles, because you've only got a limited amount of time in the week. All right. So it's like I've done these 2 things for the week. I need to now do strikes, but all my transmog stuff is saying I need to do Crucible and Gambit.
No, it's
Transmog
all,
is pulling you one way. Your Pinnacle's
it's
pulling you the
transmog
other
is
way.
all random, buddy.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
No,
I'm saying.
you're not. You're
I'm
not.
saying
You
if
should,
the-
oh no. All right, stop now. All right, so just say you've done all your fucking bounties. So you got all your pinnacles now. So you've done your bounties for Vanguard. All right. So you got your fucking pinnacle. Then you've got your Crucible. So, like, I would imagine it's going to be like an overhaul, like in Guardian games, where you can rock in, you go, all right, there's a Crucible bounty there. All right, so I'm going to go into fucking Crucible. I'm going to get all my 150 off the random fucking thing, get my bounty. I'm going to Crucible. That gives me fucking synth, fucking blah, blah, blah. And then you can think, like, I don't.
So
it's,
what
it-
if?
it's
'cause
not
we don't
going
know-
to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to direct you, though you have to do this. I think it's going to be a completely across the board. You can have just random fucking bounties of you need to kill this person with this type of fucking weapon, or you need to go and kill strikes.
We already have bounties that do that. We already have random bounties that do that, right? So what I'm saying is if one of those bounties don't line up with what you need to do, and that's where the bounties problem comes in. So it's like you could have 10 sorry, I'll take it the other way. You have all these bounties that are like
Yep.
kill combatants, generate orbs of light, and all this stuff. And it's like generate 100 orbs of light, right? So you want to go do strikes to do that. But
But
you've
you
already
can
done
do,
the strikes pinnacle for the week.
but you can do that in Crucible.
I know, but it's like, how much longer is that? And like, you are starting to split your time between so many things. It's fine for people who have a lot of time to do this, but a bounty's problem becomes of I'm splitting my time trying to do this new transmog thing, or doing my pinnacles, and it's only pinnacles now for the 10 levels. So now you have to do your pinnacles to
it's
do the
not-
content that's later on. But it is
Well,
because
it is. But once you have a pinnacle,
Yeah.
you go up, then
Yeah.
you're going to powerfuls are going to come into play. So it's
the
not
powerfuls
just
don't matter.
pinnacle. Well,
Because
they
it's
do
only the
because
pinnacle levels.
if you put yourself up a light level,
Hmm.
then all your other fucking armor is out of fucking sync. Powerfuls will then push your armor up.
The last 10 levels that we get are only pinnacle levels now. It's like going from 1300 to 1310. So that's my problem. What if you start doing pinnacles, but you can't get the right pinnacle to drop in the right spot? So you have to go do the pinnacle to level up, because if you don't do that pinnacle, you don't get the right spot. You're behind getting to GMs, which is another big game of content.
But mate,
You see what I'm saying?
No, whoa now. I think you're fucking jumping the gun a bit here. All right. When did you get up to pinnacles?
This
When did
season?
you? No. When did you get up to GM level? Last week, wasn't it?
The week before, yeah.
Right. So you got 20 days left.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You got if I don't even think it's that. I think it's I think it's about 15, 14 days. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're complaining about only going up 10 levels.
But remember how long it took you to get levels in the right spot? Because it was a pinnacle?
But that's because you have to go up 60
No,
fucking
no.
levels
When
to
you
get
hit-
up to.
When you hit the pinnacle cap, remember how you were complaining, I think it was last season,
Yeah,
how
but-
you couldn't get a cape? And so all of your other pinnacles were just dropping in the same level because you
But-
couldn't get up?
But your GM is not going to be the top of your fucking thing. It's most probably going to be halfway up the length.
No,
So
GMs is always 15 above cap.
Yeah, but you can't. It's not a 15 above cap
It
because
is.
they're on competition mode. So it's fucking reduced to 25, 13, 25. I'm 31. I would imagine Raph is fucking 40 odd.
I
So it's
understand
not
that,
cap,
but to
but it's
get into it,
Yeah,
you
but
have
it's
to
a
be
combo.
1325 to
Yeah.
get into to GMs, which means you have to be 13, 13 9, 13 10.
Well, they're gonna have to sort that out, didn't they? Look,
what I'm saying.
I think you're jumping. I think you're
I'm saying
making. I think you're making something bigger than what it is there.
No, I'm saying that this is the problem with. I'm not saying this is the problem with transferring. I'm saying this is the problem with bounties, and then bringing in more bounties, and then making a currency that is different to buy different fucking bounties. This is what I'm saying. It's all tying together and making itself a bigger problem. It's a snowball effect. It just keeps building on itself.
But you can't. Like, what they're gonna bring in, or
I
what they're gonna
don't-
bring in instead.
I don't know. That's what I mean. That's why I said the challenges, because the challenges are always there, right? So we can it's the same with the Bright Dust. Remember how much Bright Dust we weren't getting because we weren't playing 3 characters, but we had the option to. But if we missed that week, we missed all that Bright Dust. But now with the challenges, we get so much Bright Dust because we can go back and do stuff.
You actually earn less.
I know you learn less overall, but Like you only earn less if you were doing all 3 characters, doing all of your bounties.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're doing one character like I do, I am getting way more Bright Dust now. If I don't do all of my bounties within that week for Transmog, I am now behind getting on my Transmog. But if it's tied with challenges, which I can go back and do,
I think what you're worried about is missing out the FOMO of having Transmog. I think. Oh no. I think after your initial fucking change of getting those 10 extra fucking Transmog thing, you won't give a shit. Nobody will fucking care, because once you get your one set of armor that you kind of like in the fucking thing, that's it. You're done. And then it'll just be a slow, steady fucking grind all the rest of the thing. I don't think it's gonna I don't think, other than people having the 1 or 2 or 3 fucking sets of armor that they like all the other guys are like, well, I use these. You can't change exotic change.
No.
You can't change exotics. Most of the stuff you can change the helmet on, all the new stuff anyway. And like, I can't even think of any armor pieces that I'd like to fucking change. Maybe, like you said, fucking Trial 9 where you can't, or maybe the Trials of Osiris stuff. But other than that, don't worry fucking about it. It's just gonna be. You're just being a fucking bitch.
No, I'm not worried for me personally. I'm worried.
Like,
I'm worried because there's newer players coming in all the time, and it's like they're seeing all this stuff. Maybe a newer player sees an armor set that they like, so they transmog that, and then they meet a friend like you with your fucking Gambit Jadestone fucking glowing warlock, and they're like, man, I really like that outfit. How do I get that outfit? Like, well, now I've missed out on transmogging to get that because I didn't bother getting any more of my bounties.
But haven't they opened up all the shaders now? You just have to buy them. So all the shaders. Well, that's what I was on. That's what I'm understanding. So possibly all the shaders are pre-shaders. You'll be able to buy.
That'd be good.
But it's a one purchase fee of 300 300 Bright Dust. So
yeah, so they've upped the Bright Dust in the Eververse. Yeah. I just don't want more bounties. That's what it is for me. I'm sick of more bounties.
Look, I've got a full thing of bounties because I can't be bothered to even hand them in. So I've just got
I know.
I just got to tell them. Look, I don't know, man. I don't know until it happens.
I know.
Until it happens, don't worry about it, mate. If you're a little bit fucking anxious over this, mate.
I feel like I'm channeling fucking Reddit right now. Like every time I should have a sip of Monster and just like let it explode out of me.
Nah, look, I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna either fucking burn or it's gonna work or it's going to get fucking spruced up and then it's gonna kind of run.
Look, it's gonna happen. Either way, it's gonna come out and people are gonna love it or they're gonna hate it or whatever. Or it's gonna be what happened this season where people were up in arms and then it just went away.
This is Destiny. It is.
It's
always gonna have people fucking hate it.
Oh man, everything. Anyway, how's your week been?
Look, my week's been fairly good. I've chilled out. We've been running GMs. I've been trying to run the boys through GMs, like I said. I was trying to get Conqueror, and then I was like, I'll just wait until next year. Next season. I'll be able to do it for a lot.
Which queen?
Next season, yeah. And then there's obviously all the Reddit stuff and all the Splicer crap coming out. Where there's going to be season of the Splicer.
The code got leaked from the Bungie website, and then they redacted it and they called it season of XXX. So
yeah, look, we'll see. Well, look, obviously, I would imagine they don't want to release anything and take away from the Guardian games. Did you hear about obviously our bigger podcast, Australian podcast, is DDU. Log tweeted out how for the Titans to win.
Oh, his spreadsheets on top of spreadsheets. Yeah, I've seen
and
that.
He's been called a hacker, and he's been getting.
Yeah,
he's been called a hacker, and he's been given fucking basically possible like hate mail, death threats type of thing. You know, and it's just
he's just look. People don't like people having nice things. And so he was like, we don't have the numbers, but we have the math.
Yeah.
And people are like, no, stop that. But now, today, the Warlocks, ooh, they're winning just a little bit.
Yeah, but then that means the Titans are going to come up. But Raf, I will give you a option of dragging my ass through. I've got another fucking 3 or 4 to do. Mate, I'll be on after this. If you want to hold my hand, hold my sweaty, sweaty hand, and take me through every GM, I will stay up and I will talk to you. I'm doing GM's carries till the new season, Vince. Stay up. Perfect.
Yeah. There you
All
go.
right, everybody. BHA Raf is in the chat party. If you want GMs, Raf, put your details down. He is a fucking GM carrier, and he's also a big fucking raider.
$60 a clear.
$60.
Yeah.
And then you put my bank details down. You send it to me. I will give it to him, just in kind. But if you see him, Raf,
tax.
yeah. If you see him put his fucking shit down, he's a legend. Yeah, so he's, but the problem is, like you said, like the 10% is coming in every day, and the fucking so obviously the Titans have beat the Warlocks a few times.
Yeah.
And now the Warlocks have got a good couple of 20-30% boost. But then I don't know, man. It's there's a lot of conspiracy theories about this, that the we know it's not a no charge, it's all free, mate. It's all free. You just have to you have to
friend him on PlayStation. That's not free. That's a life sentence, man.
And then you have to send him a photo of you, like butt photos.
Butt photos.
So they saying that the heir apparent has the hunter emblem on it and stuff like that, and then that's the conspiracy theory, because Bungie wants the hunters to win, and then they are going to introduce the new Hunter Vanguard, which I don't know is what's going to happen, but possible. I don't fucking know.
It'll be Shiro 4 because we've only seen him once on top of a mountain.
What?
Do you not know Shiro 4?
I'm not a hunter, man. Tell me.
He was
to me who Shiro 4 is.
in Rise of Iron, which is like that extra expansion we got in Destiny 1, and he was like the Vanguard scout, and he was just an extra vendor because Felwinter's Peak was another social space.
Yeah.
And so he was up there, and he's like, I'm best friends with Cade, Cade. And he was like budget Cade. And so when Cade died, everyone's like, Shiro 4 will come back and we'll he'll be our new Vanguard, and then he just never showed up.
Do you reckon? So I've got a theory on Cade and Jotun. So when Cade got killed, he got made into a Jotun because you've never seen him in the same room together.
For fuck's sake.
So it's the Cade toaster.
You've never seen Jotun and Cade in the same room, so they must be the same thing.
Because every time somebody says something like, I miss Cade, I was like, don't worry about it, mate. Just go look at your coffee machine or your toaster, and he's been made into a toaster. Just talk to a toaster, it'd be fun.
Every Jotun shot is a 3D printed Sundance Ghost shell being launched.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, look, do you reckon Crow is going to be the Vanguard? I think it's going to cause dramas, I do, because there's still people hating on him, even though he's a completely new person and he has saved Zavala.
I know. I think he will be the Vanguard, but at the same time, he's like being so groomed to be the speaker, especially by Osiris.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like, do we make him the Vanguard? I don't know. Maybe we get someone else to be the Vanguard. Do we need one? What does the Vanguard even do anymore? Even Ikora is pushing for the Vanguard to be disbanded now, so it's like, what's going on?
Well, that was the issue, is were they going to keep it, because they not really there to do anything, but then we need them as vendors, and there's animosity between the civilians and the Guardians, because that's all we do. We rock in and then people try to invade us. But that could be the Lightfall thing. That could be the end of the Vanguard in Lightfall, type of thing. That's there's gonna have to be a big upset to disband the Vanguard, because they are very much ingrained in the whole history of Destiny.
Yeah, well, they're ingrained in the city, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. Look, the Vanguard aren't as important as they believe themselves to be in the grand scheme of the Destiny universe. Like, they're important to the tower, but when Cade died, all of the hunters fucking left, besides us, technically. But, like, there was no hunters in the tower because they didn't want to be the Vanguard, so it's like, we are more than capable of, like, living without them. They make it easier, and that's great, but look, we just don't need it here.
Look, what they could have done is just made the assassination attempt properly, and kind of slowly got rid of him. So I don't know with the old Keitel and the old because I've been listening to the lore, and I've missed so much.
Holy shit!
But
holy shit!
All right, how long have we been going for? Is that 45
40 minutes?
Right. Topic of the week, guys. Topic of the week. Everybody in chat. Topic of the week. Do you think they will ever make a 4th class? And if so, what would it be?
So when you say class, you mean like not
hunter, warrior, a hunter, warlock, titan, something other than that?
It's hard to say because everyone initially just goes, well, yeah, they'll make a fallen class, but class isn't based on race.
No.
So
it's because I was trying to think of one. I could kind of think of one, but then it's very difficult how they're going to introduce this new class type of thing if they could introduce this new class.
Yeah. Like, it's so hard to say. I'm not really sure. I used to believe that the classes we have were like, they existed because of the city existed, and we were kind of trained to harness the light in that specific way. But then Destiny 2 happened, and Gaul did basically all of the classes just from getting the light. So it was like, well, the light makes that class for you. It's not a trained thing. It's just a given thing. So
but the other thing, because obviously we've been talking about Fallen and the lore and stuff, is why wasn't the Fallen given any classes? They had the Traveler first. They had him for 2 golden ages, and nothing happened
because the Traveler didn't need something to protect it. The Traveler was awake the entire time. Yeah. Even with that planet that got stuck, that they had the ultimate weapon, and then they got destroyed by the Hive, and the Traveler just fucking dipped. Like, that's what it did every single time. It didn't have a purpose to create defenses. So when it got mangled with us, it was like defend.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
That's yeah.
Because I was thinking maybe of a support class. So you know the Warlock can put his little fucking shooty ice thing out. He can kill his grenade, eat his grenade. And
the arc buddy.
Yeah, something like that. Something like World of Warcraft has the is it the hunter? I can't remember what type of class, and you can have like a beast.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can have a beast, and then a Diablo, I think, has a I think it's actually classed as a warlock. Where you can bring demons in and stuff like that. But something that you could maybe draw machinery and you can put turrets down and stuff like that, or what's the other one Warlocks have? What World of Warcraft have? They have the shaman.
Okay.
So you know the shaman totem?
Yeah.
That the undead fallen, whatever they're fucking called.
The scorn.
The scorn. They put the totems down. So you can have something like that you could have these totems down and stuff like that, and they will maybe draw as a light tether or pushes out area effect damage type of thing.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But see, that's what I mean. Like, the classes are tied to elemental damage or elemental forces that are existent in the Destiny universe. That's why we use those three specifically. And then stasis is the removal of energy, and that's what causes the ice. So it's like there's no other energy that we see that would create a new class. So I would think,
because look, it's looking more and more that corruption is going to be the new one.
Yeah,
it's more.
It would come down to not so much like what abilities they have, but it's like I think the new class would start with personality traits. So like the Dredgen, and like how they were power hungry, and that could turn into like, I don't know, rogue types. But we already got rogue types with fucking Night Stalkers.
Yeah. Well, it's really hard, isn't it? Like, I was trying to think, because they've split the characters up. They've got, obviously, each class has 3 different types of subclasses, 3 different types of, or 4 different types of energy. So you can't have Hunter or Rogue or Assassin or something like that, because that's what Night Stalker is. You can't have fighters and stuff like that, because that's basically what, well, we wield darkness already, Vince. And you can't have warlocks, and warlocks can't be anything because they're the wizard warlock type of thing.
It would have to be technology based. It would have to be.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I would start off no light. I'd say a Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Like she got a clan. She somehow got her hands on Siva, and then Siva keeps, instead of her dying and getting brought back to life with the ghost, Siva keeps regenerating her. Right, something along those ways, like, or the way Exos kind of work, where it's like a body destroyed, gets built a new body. It would have to be technology based. That's the only way I can see it working.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking maybe a support class that you can put a turret out or something like that can help you, or you give a buff to people that they guns do more damage, but then you're taking away from the warlock with his. I
mean, the Titans do that anyway as well. Warlock and Titans sort of do the same thing, but you can shoot out the Warlock one.
Yeah.
It would have to be, it's almost like an engineer class where it's like, it's all about buffing damage output and enhancing armor.
Yeah, it's a very hard.
Yeah. It's
very, very
But then difficult. We're like dipping into a very big, very wide, like, MMO range. And I know they're saying that Destiny is an MMO now, but it's a fantasy MMO, whereas like we're sort of moving into the Division and Outriders a bit with like the way we deal with technology there. So
look, it's very. I thought about it the other day. And I was thinking, fuck, if I doubt that they can though. I think we're so ingrainedly based on the 3 characters throughout the lore, throughout the game. It'd be very difficult for them to turn around and bring a 4th character in that can do other stuff. I think they've covered a lot of the bases with the 3 characters with a 4 different subclasses.
Yeah. It would have to be technology based, or it'd have to be a brand new race gets the power of the light. And then we go from there. Most likely Fallen, because of the House of Light. I don't really see a reason why Keitel and her Cabal would ever get the light. They have their own power and they're strong enough without it, and then the Vex don't know how to do it.
Well, they are supposed to be getting stasis subclasses next season, so I'm not too sure. I don't know how the fuck that's gonna work.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get energy types because we're gonna get weapon damage types.
But stasis. It looks like the Vex, because I would imagine the whole Vex thing is this next season. They are supposed to have stasis shields. Yeah, you're allowed to break them, but I'm not too sure. That's another one I was thinking. I was actually thinking about nature, Vince. Like you could put shields of wood, because I'm reading up for the next script of terraforming.
Mm-hmm.
And so it came in that obviously I'm not going to wreck next week's season, but the Traveler can terraform and he has done, as he has done throughout all the other people that he's helped, he's terraformed. So that's obviously a nature-based thing, whether you can, like you said, like a druid, whether you could bring maybe fauna, flora into play during a fight.
Would elves do it? Like, fuck, man, we can definitely go down the fantasy path.
We can't go down the fantasy path. I think it's going to have to be more technology.
Yeah. I think as we get closer to Lightfall and beyond, we'll see a true loss of our light. Like a proper loss, not a shut off from the Traveler, but the Traveler is actually removed from us.
Yeah.
And then maybe we go to the darkness path for whatever, how the classes work down that way, and we've lost our ghost, and so we don't get revived that way, so we have to revive ourselves a different way. I think that's where we're going.
Right.
Whether that changes, like, us calling ourselves Hunter, Titan, Warlock. Those titles are also actually city-based. Like,
yeah,
Drifter doesn't call himself any of those things, but he is a guard. He is a light bearer. You know, it's like those titles are given to us by the way we wield the light specifically. It's so fucking hard.
It's difficult, isn't it? It's a difficult one.
Yeah. And it's like, we know where certain subclasses started, or supers started, like Shin Malfa with the golden gun. He was the first one to do the golden gun.
Yeah. And
like, we know Stormcallers, how they got theirs. They were like warlocks who kept meditating in thunderstorms, and eventually they learned to harness the arc, and then they made the Stormcaller class, like, and they're kind of new still. And then you got the fucking Hammer of Soul Titans, so they physically formed a hammer, or forged a hammer to make a new class. So it's it's so fucking hard. This is why we don't actually do it.
It could be the fact that they so fucking railroaded with the 3 classes that they can't.
I'm sure it's
out.
a thing. I'm sure it's a thing of, like, especially with darkness classes now, they're like trying to even everything back. It's like, do we even bother making use of class?
Yeah. Anyway. All right, mate. Do your fucking law, man.
Do my law. Was that so? The other day when you said that you had a question for me, but you didn't want to ask it yet. Did you just ask me that now?
That's it. That was the thing.
Okay. Right.
Do the fucking law, bitches.
Do the fucking law. So I'm just gonna quickly put
Let's
this out like we do every week. If you are new to the Relaxed Guardians podcast show, hang on, I'm being looked in on, or not. Each week, either Sebs or myself write a script based on specific points in the lore, and we take, you know, the main dot points, so we know the bits that happen in the lore that are canonical in the game, and we fill them out. Just give everyone a bit more like understanding to the world and everything, to kind of help things out. So this week we are doing, well, I am doing the Midnight Coup, which is a pretty big point, but again, it's like, yeah, he's drinking some of his gin. It's like a thing where we know what happened, we know who was involved, but it's pretty basic story, so embellish a bit. Okay.
There was a sec. The wife called it. Oh, so she listened to some of the stuff that I wrote, and she goes, "Oh, you're writing fan fiction." I was like, "Is this fan fiction?" I was like, "It's against law. I'm just writing a story from the law." And he's like, "She goes, yeah, that's fan fiction." I was like, "Oh, motherfucker."
Technically, well, you were on 4chan like the other day, so.
True.
So, look, you dug your own grave there.
All right, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Do this. Let's do this.
All right. Lictor Sheotet, the Emperor's Protector. Reborn Otzot, the Scion Savant. Adele Molly Imoli, the Everjoy. Evocate General Umun Arath, Primus of all legions. Ishkal of Fentor, the traitor and confidant. Keitel, Princess Imperial. Dominus Gaul, the consul. It started with Umun Arath. She believed that war was the only way that the Cabal would flourish and survive. Callus designated Amun Arath as Evoker General and Primus of all legions to try and quench this thirst. However, to show Amun Arath the breadth of war, the Cabal had set out on the universe and tame her desires. This did not work. Amun Arath longed for more blood, more power. The opposite belief came in the form of Adil Moli Imoli. Previously, he had been a colossus, gunning down armies of foes who had been against the Emperor's reign. On his day of retribution, Adil Moli Imoli named himself the Everjoy, and vowed to only bring peace to the Empire. He was not willing to see the Cabal go to war, and so he began to create festivals to calm the people and bring joy to the Empire. So just sort of like going through introducing people. There was like 7 fucking people that were involved in this thing, but only like 4 of them actually did something, but they're all important. And so there's a lot of names to remember, so I'm going to keep using those names in full, like Adil Molly, the Everjoy, to really drive it home, because it's like, I was writing it and going, who the fuck is this again? So, yeah. Freeborn Otzot, a scion of the Emperor's Council. He had created a machine called the Oxa Machine that allowed him to focus his psionic abilities and peered forwards and backwards through time. Otzot was an ego-driven being, proud to be the only free scion born in the Empire. When Callus offered to free the rest of the scions, Otzot loathed the idea. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe he always knew this would come to pass. Maybe he knew that this was the path to the scion's true power. Maybe this was the true beginning of the Midnight Coup. So we've actually heard of Otzot and the Oxa Machine a shit ton recently, especially with the most recent season of those scions attacking Zavala. And in the Sundial season, there was a lot of references to Otzot and his machine to be able to travel through time, and that's why they wanted the Sundial, because it was similar in a way to what Osiris had built.
Well, that's the theory, isn't it? That Otzot is the 3 sisters were something to do with Otzot, and that's why they killed Zavala, or tried to kill Zavala, because we killed the 3 sisters within the fucking Sundial.
Yeah, exactly. And then the 4th one was killed on the Almighty before it crashed. That was the one that crashed it.
Yeah, that's why they forced the Almighty to crash into the thing.
Yeah, so they're all tied together, and then Otzot is this fucking omnipotent being who created this machine. Anyway. My father is weak, Kayado roared as she slammed her drink onto the table. The Empire is now ever-reaching, and I am one of the strongest star pilots. I have seen what lies beyond our rule, and it is far stronger than we. Amun Arath sat silent as she watched the Princess Imperial pace around the room. What do we do? What does he do? He sits on his throne and pretends to show people his love. He grants them arenas of war so some albino rat may claim glory over trash. He does not show the resolve to fight a war or defend our people. Amun Arath leant forward and spoke in a low tone. Well, what do we do then? He rules, not you. Our people love him, not you. The people follow him, not you. Not all of them, replied. So, I skipped a bit. Kayado became a star pilot kind of recently, and we don't really know what a star pilot is, but it's just like, we know it's a big deal for the Cabal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just in general, she's a star pilot. It's a great moment for her, but like, Alice, it's kind of bittersweet. He doesn't want to see her out fighting. He wants to see her at home cherishing what he cherishes, but she doesn't share the same view.
Yeah, she's more of she's a captain. A star pilot would be, what I would class as a captain of a ship, like the Starship Enterprise type of thing, where the captain is like the massive fucking big deal.
Yeah, I would assume, yeah. That's the way I gather it as well. Anyway, so she's sitting down with Amun Arath, who's also like very war driven and like, we need to kill, we need to keep fighting, and they're kind of, it's shouting in an echo room. It's like, we need to fight. And it's like, just keeps bouncing around and you're confirming yourself, and it happens a lot in reality as well. It's very annoying. Yeah. Slice, crunch, snap, thud. All around Gaul, bodies began to drop in pools of blood into the sand of the arena. He was the champion, although many challenged that title. Ah, a deep voice cheered from the shadows of the alcove. Again they fall to you without fail. No Cabal stands against you and walks away with their life. Callus's voice echoed around as the crowd began to roar with joy. Gaul! 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 They chanted. At this rate, I'm going to run out of fighters for you to kill. I'll probably have to start picking from the crowd. The chanting stopped as the audience looked to one another. The Emperor chuckled to himself. Perhaps instead, a new title should be appointed to you. No longer will you be Gaul, champion of the arena. Instead, you should be known as Gaul, Primus of the Red Legion. The crowd once again erupted in cheers of joy. Primus! 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 Spit twang. The council's misgivings for the new title were not a mystery. The Red Legion, a bunch of deserters who would be outcasts, given a final chance of redemption. You know they are sent out on missions that aren't meant for return. The last time there was a Red Legion Primus, he was eaten by striped Wolper tigers on a planet that we blew up for fun. Gaul did not flinch, gave no sign of warriors being pushed onto him. Such was his training. Consul, this appointment is power. I can truly show my strength to the Empire and earn a better life for us now. The consul sighed. I know you want this more than anything. Very well, take the missions as they assign you to them and come back alive. Show them your strength. So that is something that we actually know from the lore, is that we know Gaul championed in the arena, and then from that he took the mantle of the Primus of the Red Legion. We don't really know the differences between the legions, so I just made it up that they were a bunch of outcasts to sort of give Gaul a sense of false power.
Yeah, okay.
Just fill it out a bit more, make his resentment.
Oh, look, it's fucking light. It's these lore are so light. They I was listening to Bife and I was listening to Mylin and all them sort of stuff, and they are reading out of the cards. But they are reading out of the cards, and the cards are quite filled out. But then he adds his 10 cents into it and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But because we are at the beginning,
yeah,
there is fuck all.
Yeah.
There's no flesh on these things. Like I'm reading about Ares 1, and it's like, keep my donut. That's it. One of those donut. That's what it is. One of them was like, oh, can I have half that? Can I have that last donut? And the guy was like, we can have half the donut. And he goes, I'm gonna have to go and do some stuff there. And he shows him something else, and the guy's like, keep the donut, and just walks out. And that's one of the lore cards.
And that was 3 paragraphs on a fucking gun. It took me 10 hours to earn. Oh man, we're getting a lot more better stuff with each new season. Have you read any of the stuff from the new Trials armor yet? Have you looked into that at all?
Nah. That's all. So we're obviously after this. I'm gonna do Ares 1 next week, and then we're gonna do a roundup of the season. So that's the Glycon and any other bits. And we're just gonna read from the cards and have a discussion of the cards because I'm not gonna write a script for it. But
it's good. It's scary. Not the Glycon stuff, the Trials stuff. The Trials is getting fucking dangerous. It's fun.
Yeah, no, it's really fucking cool. All right, keep on. It's good, man.
Kyatul had began her preparations. First, she needed to remove his protection, Lictor Sheotet. An old legionary who had taken thousands of bullets for the Emperor had grown weary of Callus's reign. Kyatul offered him something Callus never would. Lictor, old one, your life has been nothing but combat and pain. My father will never release you of this, nor ever thank you. I, however, am different. If you accept my conditions, you will have your life as your own, to do with it as you will, never to be called on again. All I ask is that you do not be with my father 3 nights from tonight. Lictor did not hesitate, not a second thought crossed his mind. He stood tall and removed his armor, showing his wounds of 1,000 battles, and said, "This is a reminder of my life. You may never free me of this, nor he. However, a life of war is not one that I wish to end on. I will accept your offer, but know this, if you ever call upon me, I will kill you without a second thought." Next, Kyatul needed guidance. Otzot would be her guide. She came to him in his secluded home where his oxen machine dwelled. Freeborn scion, I have come with questions. Questions require answers, but only questions you will leave here with, Princess Imperial. Hyadal despised the way this scion spoke, always double-handed and never revealing a true intention. You know why I've come to speak to you, I presume. Presumptions live in theory where lies and deceit linger. Do not guess at my understandings, Princess. Give me your questions, and I shall give you mine. Hyadal grew impatient with his games, but still maintained her composure. I wish to overthrow my father. He has grown weak with power, and our people need a strong leader. Statements are bold, statements are brash, statements hold no meaning when they're rash. You know the future, you know what will happen to me. Tell me! Hyadal's voice grew louder as her anger built up. Otzot remained calm and reserved. A request is not a question needs answers, a request needs a result. I do not have results to offer, only questions. Hyadal roared
Yoda?
Hey?
Is this guy fucking Yoda?
He's a fucking asshole.
Ooh, a big brown thing are you.
Hyadal roared in anger and smashed the table at which Otzot sat. Otzot quickly dashed into the shadows. Fine, Hyadal sighed. If I were to overthrow my father, would I succeed? A light chuckle began in the shadows. If your path is to rule, alone you cannot achieve. The Emperor's reach far exceeds the stars you perceive. Power is needed in numbers only matched by rats, whose leader of pale claims glory over trash. The shadows receded, but Otzot was nowhere to be seen. His house was empty, including his machine. Hyadal left with more questions than answers, until she received word of Amun Arath, of a returning Primus who had just survived a suicide mission on one of the outer-reaching planets, an albino Primus named Gaul. Yeah, I had a bit of fun actually writing Otzot, because I was like, I don't know, we've never actually seen or heard him say anything, so I was like, what if he's just like a meddling arsehole? Because he knows fucking everything. He's seen all futures and all pathways, so what if he was like opposite Osiris? You know? Like Osiris is like, I have the answers, but fuck off. Whereas like Otzot's like, I'll just play with you and be a bit Rumpelstiltskin-y. And like,
sounds like fucking Ash and Mia. The way the fucking Ash and Mia's a fucking cockhead.
Ash and Mia is like literally a dick. Like he over informs you of why you're wrong. Whereas Otzot's like, he gives you the answer, but you don't know he's giving you the answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah, it was good.
That's good, man.
And then I kept writing in rhymes. I was like, I gotta go back and stop doing this because I'll turn into Dr. Seuss.
Well, racist.
Yeah, that was ooh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Savage.
Alright. Gaul had returned triumphant. His red legion stood tall as they marched behind him toward the capital. Inside, Emperor Callus granted Gaul an audience. Gaul knelt in front of his ruler. My emperor, I return to you victorious. Callus did not look at the albino Primus, more interested in picking up the dirt between his toes. How can I serve you further, my lord? Gaul persisted. Callus scoffed at the idea. You've served your purpose. You think I wanted your services beyond the arena? Fool. Gaul showed no sign of anger. However, it swelled inside of him. Then why make me the Primus? Are you really as dumb as you are pale? I couldn't keep throwing bodies at you, could I? There was no sense in keeping you in the people's eye. I needed you removed. Gaul remained silent, his anger preparing to erupt. You were supposed to die on that backwards planet, along with your legion of failures, becoming a martyr for our people and satiate their quest for glory beyond our stars. Gaul could no longer contain himself and began to rise to strike down the Emperor, but before he could move, a hand grabbed him by the shoulder and held him down. Father, do you think it wise to talk down to the Colossus that ripped apart every gladiator you threw at him? Not to mention the fact that he just returned without losing a single life of his own legion? I was just restraint in your lashings. Gaul could feel the hand pushing him down, holding him on his knees. Very well, O daughter of mine. Perhaps your words will quell this one's rage. Hyadal escorted Gaul out of the throne room. whispering in his ear as they went. 2 days' time. Bring your legion and march on the gates of the capital. His reign is over. Ours begins now. Gaul said nothing. His eyes had turned blood red with rage, ready to be released. So I sort of like forgot when I was writing my last script that he had those crazy red eyes, like they were piercing.
Albino eyes.
Yeah, I just like forgot that was a fucking thing. And so I kind of was like, well, what if they were like just normal Cabal eyes to begin with, but then they like shifted to that red for a reason. And so I used it for this. Because like Kyle's got blazing orange, and I don't know about Callus, and then we never see any other Cabal eyes. They're always closed, and all their
Callus
mouths.
has got dark eyes, but he's
Well, that was a robot.
in his fat head.
Fucking thick boy. How's the chat go? what's that thing that Dan said?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh,
it
pink
looks
eyes.
it looks like a Cabal.
Cabal.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah. The time had come. Midnight had struck, and Gaul marched his legion through the streets of the city towards the capital. The palace guards could hear the footsteps for miles, preparing themselves for the oncoming assault. As the footsteps grew closer, a figure emerged from the dark of the streets. A colossus, wearing nothing but a cloth around his waist. Take them, Gaul said in a low tone, as his legion appeared from behind him, beginning to charge. The legion crashed through the guards with ease, hacking and slashing as they went. Gaul made his way up the stairs, not needing to raise his axe. As he walked into the vast hallway, guards appeared all around Gaul on the balcony above. He paid no heed to them, however. Umunarath crashed through the ceiling, hacking and slashing away through the would-be snipers. After cleaning up the upper areas, Umunarath leapt over the balcony edge and landed next to Gaul as he made his way to the door where Callus resided. Inside, Callus had been enjoying an evening with his council, enjoying drinks and sharing stories. After hearing combat outside, they quickly ordered the guards to brace the doors and secure the room beyond. The council had not heard from the guards in some time. There was a ruckus not too long before, but now it was eerily silent. Callus stood up, his focus fixed on the doors up to the hallway. Boom! The doors shook hard with the force of something ramming into it from the outside. "My lord!" one of the council members cried. Boom! The doors shook again. "My lord, what are we to do?" Boom! Callus stood silent. Boom! The braces began to crack. "Emperor! They will break through at any moment." Callus could not move. Boom! Crack! Slam! The doors flew open and the Red Legion forces surrounded the council. Before they could get to him, Callus escaped through a door behind him. Gaul began to chase, but Umunarath stopped him. "Leave that to her," she said. Gaul turned his blood-red eyes to the council members trapped with him. Callus could hear the cries of his council as he ran through the passages of the stone. At last he could see it, his last chance to stop all of this. He stopped himself on the throne, breathing heavy as he searched for something, pulling open hatches and pressing buttons, growing more frantic the longer he took. "Where are they?" he cried. "Where are they?" he cried. "Looking for these?" a voice said from behind him. Callus turned to look. "Caiatl, what are you doing here?" He noticed her hands clutching the bones of a wish dragon. "Give me those," he said, stretching out his hand. Caiatl pulled away. "Please, daughter, I can stop all of this, and we can go back to the way we were. All will be forgiven." "Go back to the way we were?" Caiatl responded with anger. "We were weak under your rule. Darkness lies at the edge of our stars, and you do what? Drink in your hole and send our strongest to die?" Callus could see he was losing. "Caiatl, please. I only wish to protect our people." "You only wish to protect yourself," he said. She held the bones up in front of him. "Let me show you how little you can do that." She crushed the bones slowly, never looking away from his eyes as he slowly slunk to the floor. So, the bones were Ahamkara bones that he had kept stored away for like a final emergency. Theoretically, you can use Ahamkara bones to still make a wish, and that could have been him trying to stop the Midnight Coup. it's a weird thing with Ahamkaras. We don't fully know how their power works. And like we've only ever seen Riven, and she was taken in her form, so it was like we just don't know how it 100% is or isn't. Like Bones could do it.
Yeah, because they've still got the link, so they work on like the same thing as the worms, don't they? They have the hive worms where they are still conscious, even though they are dead. So they will whisper to you through the bones.
Yeah,
because it's the woman that went to the Nine. She had Ahamkara bones, and then she did a wish to go and meet the Nine type of thing. It's a weird little. It's an odd.
yeah. It's I kind of made this joke about Captain America's shield, because we watched the last episode of Falcon Winter Soldier the other day with Kate, and there was a moment where, slight spoiler, where he throws the shield and it hits a chair and then it just goes and falls to the floor. Kate's like, isn't that thing supposed to like bounce around the room all crazy? And I'm like, oh, I guess it doesn't now. And then later on, he throws the shield and it bounces all around the room. I was like, fuck it, it's just the plot decides. So
I'll say again. So who threw the first shield?
Sam, Falcon. When Falcon has the shield and he throws it and it hits the chair and then he throws it again and like bounces all around the room, fucking takes out 5 people. I think Ahamkaras are the same deal. It's like whatever the plot decides for them to be is what they are and how they work.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Look.
We're making fan fiction up, so we might as well just make whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, look, it was the bone of the Ahamkara dick, and she's like, anyway. Anyway.
Come on.
I've got Ahamkara dick in my head now.
Better than in your mouth.
Alright. Laughter could be heard from behind Kyatal, a laugh that Callus thought was long dead. The consul, followed by Gaul, walked into the throne room, laughing and pointing at the now defeated emperor. Look at you now, the consul said as he slowly circled Callus. Weak, pathetic, a ghost of a regime since past. Callus did not look up at his aggressor. The consul's teasing continued. What should we do with him? Beheading? Disembowelment? What if we castrate him? The consul's eyes met Kyatal. Maybe it's a bit late for that one. We should do none of those, Gaul said. Send him away into the darkness he has ignored for so long. Let him stare into that void. The others agreed, and so it was to be. Callus was sent away on his personal vessel, the Leviathan. In the confusion, the people began to rebel against the new leadership. Wanting only peace for his people, Adil Moli Imoli started celebrations for the new empress, showering the people in trinkets and distractions. Soon the rebellion settled and the Cabal reached further beyond their stars. Until one day, after creating so much war and death, Xivu Arath appeared on Torobottle. And that's the end.
Okay, alright.
Yeah. So, it's a weird thing with what Callus discerns as the conspirators. Because Adil, Molly, and Molly didn't really do anything except try and keep the peace, which is what Callus wanted, but he didn't let people get revenge for Callus getting cast out. So he sees them as a conspirator. And then he sees Otzod as a conspirator because he had this future sight and didn't tell Callus and so on. It's like
the Tor battle, Xivu Arath Tor battle is now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like the closest I can find. Like, there's a period of time that passes in there where Kyatal is the leader and she pushes the war further beyond, making so much war for Xivu Arath to appear.
Yeah, because obviously she is the god of war, isn't she?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
That's my basic understanding of it.
Because that's where the Callus gets put into his Leviathan. He fucks off to the darkness, and then that's where he starts.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
he makes his deal at some point somewhere. I don't think we can really. I'm going to try and do that story, but that kind of becomes
That's ages away. That's a fair bit away yet. We've got a ton of ton of
Yeah,
stuff.
well,
to
you're
go there.
doing your lot next, but like in that time, is he gets his powers and then he makes his first lot of shadows, and then they go after the conspirators.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Miles. So it is very much Roman because Caesar got killed
Mhm.
in near enough to say, well, he got killed, he didn't get fucking excluded. So they conspired against him and then they stabbed him in the back 50 fucking times.
Yeah.
So it is very history of Roman-esque, isn't it?
I feel like it would have been better if Callus had died there. He's become a character that's just not important to any plot. Like it's always setting him up to be, oh, Callus is going to do something. Like
I think he's going to come back. I think he's going to come
he's
back
always gonna
after
come
the.
back, and it's like, but he doesn't do anything. Like the
No,
Glycon.
I think he's going to have a big part in it later on. I think he could possibly receive something from the Glycon from the darkness, and then he's going to come back in as an antagonist later on. I reckon.
Yeah. We're still technically one of his shadows as well. So.
Well, yeah, kind of, but they've obviously got the Guardian who lost it. He was going to be the shadow. He was like the Guardian shadow. But because at the moment, you've got Vex next season, possibly Fallen next season, and then he's going to have to come back around to Cabal. Even though we're friends now, we are kind of with...
That's but the season and then the big drop, so yeah.
Cheers, Dan. Thanks for turning up.
We're about to head off.
Yeah, so it could be the fact that they will need a Cabal antagonist, even though we're on the side of Kayako. It could be introduced as a darkness Callus, where he's been given powers from other powers, because at the moment he's fucked. He's completely fucking
he's
buggered
in a chair that's keeping him alive.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
It's hard to guess, but yeah, good writing, man. I like that. That was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Anyway, that's do we have any other tidbits that we want to do before we go?
Look, we are going to do a rundown of we are going to do this season rundown, maybe next week or the week after. I want to see what happens with the Guardian games first, and then we'll see what goes on after that. But that's it. That's pretty much it. Cheers, guys. Like, guys, you can find us on all the fucking thing. We're on Instagram. We're getting good traction there. We got a Facebook page. We've also got a QR code that's getting thrown around that Vince did for us. Fantastic. Yeah, like drop a line if you got a question. Come into the Facebook. Give us a question. We are starting to release some of the written law that we have on Facebook. I keep adding them to different pages. They keep taken off.
Yeah, I saw you share it around, and then I couldn't find it anymore. I was like, oh, okay.
And then it gets taken off because they had the fucking Destiny things on Facebook are fucking assholes.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's it. Keep going on, and look, it's the end of the season.
Yeah.
Warlocks are gonna win fucking Guardian games. Don't worry about Transmog. It will either fucking be a shit, and then it'll sort itself out.
I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I need to buy I'll sort that out. I'll buy their thing. Other than that, guys, thank you very much. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the questions. Thanks everybody for in the chats and stuff. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading and all that sort of stuff.
We see you 3 listeners over in the United States sticking strong. I appreciate you keeping it global.
Is that all we got? Is 3?
Yeah, they've stuck with 3 over there. We've got a couple that are still in Europe somewhere, but yeah, the 3 in the United States are keeping us strong. So if you can share us around there safely, please be safe over there. That'd be awesome.
All right. Fuck you all out. I'm gone. I am going to be on computer later. I don't know if you're going to stream.
No, I didn't even get into it this week, but I've got so much fucking shit to deal with. I won't be streaming or anything until Friday, because that's my assessment date, due date. So I'll have everything done and up then. So I'll be back Friday. All right.
Fuck you all out.
Peace.
See you later, guys. Bye.